Hey everyone, I know we're getting a lot closer to the holidays now and you can expect a lot of glam party looks from me, but I wanted to do something today that was sort of for those days where it's cold outside, you've pulled on your favorite sweater, maybe you're heading out to do some last minute Christmas shopping, or you're just cuddling up for a movie for the day, staying inside, or you just, want something that is going to make your features look really polished but not over the top, not, going nuts with the metallics and the, those kinds of shades. I will be doing some of that, but that's not what this look is about today. This is about a very matte brown shade that's being used all over the lids to create an illusion of a lot of depth and kind of a sultry look there, and then using a pop of a light shimmery shade to really bring out the eyes. We've done it in the center of the eyes. It's a new technique for me, and I want to introduce it to you as well. I'm going to tell you how I got this lip look as well that I'm really enjoying. And by the way, guys, I was kind of messing around with the concept of how I was going to do this look, and I pulled out, I'm going to use a little from this palette and a little over here and this and that, and then I thought, let's make it easy. Let's just use 2 shades of eyeshadow readily available. I'll tell you what these are. Keep on watching. Guys, the very first thing I did was applied my Smashbox lid, Photofinish lid primer all over my eyelid. It really neutralizes any discoloration on your eye. And then I'm going to take this shade from CoverGirl. It's called Brown Smolder. It's one of the perfect toned, deep matte brown shades out there. So I really like using this color just in an all-purpose kind of crease way, but I'm actually going to be using it all over the lid right now, kind of a different approach for an eye look for me. But I'm going to just use the sponge tip applicator because it really has a nice little point to it that follows the shape of my eye in that inner corner quite well. So I'm just going to pack that on here. You can see that nice matte finish just building all over the lid. This is a pigmented shadow from CoverGirl. They've really improved. I don't know if you've watched, a lot of my videos in the past, but I've noted how they have really improved the formulation of their eyeshadows recently. So I'm really liking them, and I'm just kind of, see how I've gotten the bulk of the product on the lid, and then I'm kind of looking down into my mirror and lightly patting around there just to kind of take the excess that might still be on the applicator and move it around. You can totally blend with a sponge tip, it's a myth if someone's telling you you can't. I'm also going to use my Smashbox number 15 brush. It's just a nice kind of full crease brush, and I'm going to get a little bit more of that brown smolder on there. And this is just a nice brush for following the natural shade or shape of your crease here. I'm not really creating an outer V, I'm just building that color up, and as I get less and less on my brush, just continue to blend upward, and that will just kind of buff right off and blend seamlessly there, okay? We are going to come back to the brown smolder momentarily, but first I'm going to move on to a lighter shade here in a second. I'm going to be taking a shade called Mink. I really, really love Mink on just kind of a daily basis shade as well. What this is a nice kind of a cross between a light champagne shade and a taupe. It's just, it's a gorgeous kind of, as it hits the light, you might think, okay, that's light brown, but no, it's champagne, and then it's got that little hint of taupe gray. So it's a very multi-dimensional, pretty shimmery shade that we're going to pair with this nice dark matte brown. And I'm going to use my Coastal Scents mini contour brush. This is that teeny tiny brush. A Q-tip could do this, a small, just sort of smallish applicator, a sponge tip could do this as well. But you'll notice on this eye how we've got overall darkness on the lid, except for in the middle. We're getting that little, reflective note that kind of makes your eyes really pop. And so we're going to do that over here as well. I'm just taking this brush, which gives me excellent control, and you can see I'm just dotting that right there in the middle. It almost gives an otherwise matte shade a very glossy look right there. Pack on as much as you want, but remember, you're not looking to blend this side to side big time over the top of what you're doing, just over the top of the middle there. Okay, looks really nice. And then you can also use that little brush to go right in here. I'm always a fan of lightening up the tear duct a little bit. You can always do that as an end step. Sometimes I do it at the end, sometimes just for convenience, I'll go ahead and do this while I've just, you know, used the brush for something else. Another way we want to use Mink is as a highlight. So take any fluffy crease brush. I'm using my Sephora rounded crease brush, and this just blends famously on top of that brown and just go all the way up to your brow, and you're just going to get a really soft, kind of warm look here. I really, really like this. Now we're going to go to our upper liner, and then we're going to come back to some other things. So this might seem a little out of step, but I know that you guys know I sometimes like to do my liner and then kind of play off of that for more shadow. So I'm going to take a brown liquid liner, use whatever you like, but I find that the Femme Couture liquid liner from Sally's in brown is an extremely smooth liner. It's very rich and creamy. This is not the type of liquid liner you have to go back over again and again, so I'm just going to use that. Has a nice little brush tip here. And just go all the way from inner to outer corner. I did not wing this out, but I did gradually thicken it as I got toward the end there. So I'm looking down into my mirror. And just carry it all the way over. Okay, we've got our liner, we've thickened it out a little bit at the edge, and then just for the purpose of going just like a fingernail's length in here, I'm using my Revlon Colorstay Pencil liner in black brown just to make this connection and make this look, though it is kind of smoky on the bottom, we want to make it look finished. And we will be going over this, but see what I'm doing there? I'm just kind of making that connection there, getting it nice and deep in the outer corner. And now what we're going to do is use an angled liner brush. This is my Tack-On liner brush from Coastal Scents. We're going back to the brown smolder, and I'm going to pick up some of that on the brush. And we're just going to go very simply and easily from inner corner to outer corner, just topping off what we just did there. This is so simple. I love lining with shadows. I mean, if it's a shadow like this that's nice and rich and pigmented that can handle it, then by all means go ahead and do that if that is what, you know, the kind of softer look you're going for. So, just touching up a bit here. There we go. Okay, now like I said, I do want to go back to the brown smolder in sort of a contouring sense, just kind of see what shape we're working with the eye now that we've gotten the liner on there. I'm taking my Essence of Beauty fine crease brush, one of the smallest crease brushes I have, and deepening it up from inner corner. I'm getting the shadow on there, and then I'm working it out in circular motions. And feel free to kind of dip it down a little bit. See how we're kind of working around the outer corner of the eye, just kind of really giving a nice halo of color around the eye area. Now you want to give your eye look a real close assessment here, I guess, and see if there are any other places you personally want to highlight more. If you feel like, you know, since you've used some different shadows and liners, if you want to go back and highlight what's right in the center of your lid, remember we want that glossy kind of look that just makes the eyes look open, feel free to go over that or go over your inner corner. I am going to just touch this up just slightly here. Just bring a little more light to that area. It's such a subtle thing, and it's something I probably will work into my videos more often, because you can get darker here, and then that light right in the center. I like that. So what we're gonna do next is curl the lashes, and then I'm going to be putting on this mascara from Bee Luscious. It is the gosh, the name is escaping me right now what the exact name is, because it's not labeled on the container, but I will put it in the sidebar for you. It's like the Ultimate Lash Experience, I believe, but it's got this tapered brush, and it just really lengthens and thickens. So I'm going to put that on, and I will join you with the finished look at some suggestions for lips and some finishing touches for the face. Alright guys, welcome back. Here is the finished eye look. As you can see, it's, you know, I'm calling it hot chocolate because it kind of makes you think of the holidays and winter and things like that, but I think this is a hot look as well, because you could take this out, but this is sort of that look that kind of makes you want to cuddle up in your sweater and feel warm and fuzzy, and, you know, it's just a very wearable, neutral look, basically. And another thing that I like about this is that this brown that we used here it's so dark. I mean, it doesn't scream brown, if you know what I mean. Like this, you put this on your eyes and it just gives you that dark, contoured, natural look, but it doesn't make you think, okay, this girl slapped on brown eyeshadow. I mean, it just has that kind of natural, earthy darkness that I really like about it. Some finishing touches for the face that I would suggest, you know, feel free to contour with bronzer. The e.l.f. Blush Bronzer Duo from the Studio Collection was what I used to kind of contour my cheeks, and then I used my Milani Minerals blush in Mai Tai to get sort of this warmth going on the cheek area. And then I went a little darker on the lips just because I kind of like the way, you know, even though this is a dark eye look, we did kind of keep a little bit of natural softness going on. I mean, it's very deep, but it's not over the top. I thought, let's go a little darker on the lips. And the liner I used to get this overall deep color is from NYC. It's the Automatic Lip Pencil in Naughty Nude. And you're gonna see here, I mean, it might make you think, okay, that should be lighter, but it's actually pretty dark. If I swatch it for you on my hand there, that's about how dark it really is. So you're going to get kind of a brownish tone on your lips with this. That's a tone I don't recall using very much in a lot of my tutorials, but I put that on. Topped it off with the e.l.f. Super Glossy Lip Shine in Mauve Luxe. This shade is gorgeous because it's kind of a deepish burgundy that has sort of a metallic finish. This shade got an entire blog devoted to it a while ago, probably, I don't know, more than a year ago, but that's where I get that nice gloss from. And then kind of going with the theme of the way our eyes are with that nice hint of lightness right in the middle. That's exactly what we did with the bottom lip. Just take a light shimmery gloss that you feel can kind of give you that. See, if I just stop talking, stop moving my lips for a minute, you can see where the light really hits right there in the middle. I'm using the Liquid Luster lip gloss, the Liquid Metallics from Bee Luscious in Pink Champagne. Really, it doesn't make me think pink at all. It's more like just a light, pearly nude color, and just dot that right there in the middle. Kind of use your finger to dab it in there and make it kind of look natural with the rest of the look. But I hope you guys enjoyed this look. I had fun putting it together. Like I said, there are many more kind of party fun looks, more festive and glam to come, but I think this is nice for every day, but it still looks very, very hot and fun, and I hope you enjoyed it, and thanks for watching so much, guys. Have a great day.